It's a very long manifesto, and I want to go to the end of it because he talks about, the author talks about the reason for choosing Charleston. This is what it says. I have no choice. I am not in the position to, alone, go into the ghetto and fight. I chose Charleston because it is most historic city in my state and at one time had the highest ratio of blacks to whites in the country. We have no skinheads, no real KKK, no one doing anything but talking on the internet. Well, someone has to have the bravery to take it to the real world, and I guess that has to be me.
Friends, foes, and others who follow me on various forms of social media know one thing to always be true. I'm what some used to call a rabble-rouser, someone who stirs the pot, goes looking for a good verbal fight. It's because I'm simply not willing to only spit out the humdrum, the pablum, the politically correct, or state something simply because it goes along with the thinking of a certain political party. Because it makes no matter what our political faction is, man, woman, or wombat of any color. We should indeed not just question everything, but be unafraid to say things in very direct language. This used to be called speaking one's mind, but has in recent years turned into, how dare you? How can you be so cruel? Or my favorite, have you any idea how many people you will insult if you say it that way? All of which and more, the challengers are allowed, though spitting any of those PC statements too vociferously could not only damage a fragile psyche, but lead those of this and future generations to become stunningly stupid with no chance of recourse. Therefore, allow me to share a post or two from my personal Facebook page late last week, where many of these discourses begin and end. The subject was Dylan Roof, the murderous thug who knowingly, willingly, and with some apparent macabre glee, butchered 9 people in Charleston, South Carolina. Here you go, all right? Now, my beginning statement. Let's keep this simple. Set a date 1 year from today, interrogate and learn everything you can from and about him. Then execute him, plain and simple. He's already confessed, and the evidence is voluminous against him. End the years of suffering with the family and friends. Don't allow him to ever make another statement that can be used for him to push for his agenda. Yes, I will be assailed for not allowing the criminal justice system to take its legal course. I'm okay with the criticism when it comes to vermin such as this. I have no problem with calling for his execution as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and I cannot fathom any logical reasoning in any other direction. With that, I offered the comment up for grabs to see what might transpire. Now, following a number of affirmatives, Danny P. started a short roll. Whatever method will be employed on his final day, there needs to be an expedited pathway to get to it. The prosecution needs to charge the father as a co-conspirator. Well, Michael C. wasted no time jumping on the obvious snag in that comment. If you gave your son a car and he killed someone drunk driving, should you be charged? Co-conspirator? What proof do you have the father was in on it? Candia K is a frequent part of my discussions. He took that one head on. Well, if my son was below the driving age, certainly yes. There were some early reports that Dylan had prior arrest records when his dad gave him a gun for his 21st birthday. That, I believe, is illegal. Now, again, to be clear, his father did not give him the gun. To an earlier point, not a shred of evidence his father was in on anything. So until there is, let's put that babble to rest right away, okay? Now, Scott T. was the first from a certain line of work to weigh in. You're kinder than me, Ed. I'm in law enforcement, and I'd support dipping him in hot oil and dumping his French-fried corpse into the wilderness to become wolf spit. Note here, I received over 3 dozen private messages from members of law enforcement who did not wish to be ID'd on the board expressing fairly similar ideas. The ones who suggested tying him to different ends of a south and a northbound train, very creative, especially the one who suggested lighting him on fire first. Now, Jim M. went the route of many who believe in forgiveness. I oppose capital punishment in all cases. That's God's call. The victims' families were eloquent in their forgiveness. However, there are those who believe man is better suited than the Almighty to dish out such punishment, as noted by Tony C. Hey, Jim, was it God's call to put those people in a room with this racist psychopath? Was that God's will? Did he sort that out for those poor sitting ducks who were doing nothing more than worshiping God? And to some credence to my assertion that there are those who take part in my debates and are damn good at it, Jimmy J. put it simply, your people are rabid, Berliner. Nice. So what does the exercise reveal? America, for the most part, is fed up with killers who enjoy their work and are seemingly treated better than victims. That could be considered something of an overstatement, but it's not far from the truth. We're a nation of laws. It is that which puts us above so many others around the world. But let's be honest, most, if not all, but are we turning an evolutionary corner here where we need to take greater action against those who murder with such ease? Think about that, because we're going to be watching this story for a long time to come. Rock on, true believers. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again Tuesday, right here on The Hard Line.